Welcome to the Deep Dive. This is the show where we, take your source material, sift through it all.
And pull out those key nuggets of knowledge.
Exactly. Give you that shortcut to being really well-informed. Today, we've got excerpts from quite a sweeping Star Wars novel.
Yeah, big one.
Our mission is to navigate this really intricate narrative. We're looking for the high-stakes trials, the personal changes, the hidden truths, all that good stuff woven through the pages.
And it's not just like one single story thread, is it?
Not at all. It's more like a mosaic, really. Lots of interconnected events. We'll explore how a really revered Jedi Master faces public scrutiny.
That's a big one.
Yeah, and how a family confronts this terrifying personal crisis. We'll also see a familiar world revealing some, frankly, shocking secrets.
And ancient philosophies shaping modern destinies, right?
Absolutely. So get ready, because we are about to unpack some truly compelling galactic drama.
Let's dive in.
Okay, so our sources, they drop us right into this major galactic event. The Unification Summit. Big diplomatic thing supposed to be about peace.
Right, but even there, you immediately see the politics. Like the Hapans.
Oh, yeah, the Hapans.
This powerful matriarchal group, they're deliberately absent. Apparently, they felt slighted by the invitation.
So even when trying for unity, you've got these old grudges, status gains, still bubbling under the surface.
Precisely. And it's against that backdrop that we see something really significant happen.
The arrest.
The public arrest of Jedi Grandmaster Luke Skywalker.
Yeah.
And this isn't just, about Luke himself.
No, it raises bigger questions.
Huge questions about accountability, doesn't it? How accountable are powerful groups like the Jedi Order to the government, especially after all the recent conflicts?
And the charges themselves, reckless endangerment of a population, they specifically link it to Jacen Solo's actions.
Right, Darth Caedus's rampage, framing it as a failure of Jedi oversight.
And what really gets me is how calculated it all seems. The sources make it super clear this wasn't like a spur-of-the-moment thing.
Oh, absolutely not.
The arrest warrant. Issued right there, during the summit. Very public. And they had professional holocams ready to roll.
It was a message, a very deliberate strategic message, designed to chip away at public trust in the Jedi.
Yeah, paint them as these ungoverned, unprincipled superhumans. The narrative even suggests Luke was being portrayed as this kindly but dangerously clueless as autocrat.
Which, if you connect the dots, points pretty strongly towards Chief of State Natasi Dalla and parts of the military pulling the strings.
They weren't just after justice then.
No, they were after control. And that makes Luke's decision even more complex, pleading guilty, accepting 10 years of exile from Coruscant.
And appointing Master Kent Hamner as the interim leader.
Right. He felt the Force was, guiding him to lose this case, to be punished, to show that the Jedi aren't above the law.
Even if it meant this massive personal sacrifice for the Order's future. That's a heavy choice.
Definitely. And it must have sparked some serious debate within the Order itself, surely, about whether this was the right move.
You'd think so. The sources touch on that, the delicate balance he was trying to find.
But his calculated sacrifice, it really underscores a profound lesson, doesn't it, for any powerful institution.
Which is?
That true leadership sometimes means willingly submitting to accountability, even facing exile, maybe, to keep public trust and secure the future.
So for you, the listener, it's a powerful look at how public perception can be turned into a weapon.
And the lengths leaders might go to control or just influence the narrative. Even someone like Luke Skywalker isn't immune when politics and morals clash.
Okay, so while the Jedi Order is dealing with these big political games, the novel shifts to something much more personal and honestly deeply unsettling.
You're talking about Valin Horn.
Yeah, the Valin Horn case. He wakes up and he realizes his own mother, Mirax, she's been replaced.
Wow.
By an imposter.
The details are just chilling.
Aren't they? He tests her. Asks about breakfast smells, notices her tone is wrong.
And then uses his lightsaber on the hotcakes she made, and they just shrivel.
Yeah. And then he realizes his father, Corran, he's an imposter too. It's terrifying.
What's really striking is how sudden it is, and how pervasive his escape.
Desperate, right. Dashing through Coruscant, leaping onto speeders in a tourist district.
It immediately throws up this huge mystery. Who are these imposters? What's their goal?
And there's another layer to this unique force technique Valin has, similar to one Jacen Solo used.
One that can blank neurological scans. Makes him impossible to diagnose properly after he was trapped in carbonite.
Which then connects directly to another Jedi, Seth Helen. He has a similar mania believing people are imposters.
Suggests a common cause, maybe? Or something contagious, even.
Could be. And the sources follow Seth trying to break Valin out of prison. He even goes up against Jagged Felon Winter.
Who are secretly working with Jacen Solo on this dark meld conspiracy, their own investigation into the imposter thing.
And Jagged's wearing Mandalorian Beskar armor. That's serious business.
It is. Winter's pretty clever, too, disarming Seth just by unscrewing his lightsaber pommel. Neat trick.
So it makes you wonder, what's the actual scale of this deception?
Exactly, because later, Valin's sister, Valin Horn, she encounters what she thinks is an imposter master Silgal in the Jedi Temple, no less.
And she feels like the only real person left on the planet. Imagine that feeling.
That fear, her force shoving the imposter, it really shows the mental, the emotional toll.
It's a real aha moment for her, isn't it? Realizing her brother, despite the criminal insanity diagnosis, might have been right all along.
Absolutely. And then there's the whole chase and rescue of Seth, Merrak's Horn using the codename Credcoin, and Jaina codenamed Slicer.
Jaina cutting the net with the Force, Merrak's piloting a stolen speeder. It just deepens the whole mystery woman Jedi thing security's hunting for.
And adds another interesting character into the mix, Jaina's observer, Dab Hentek.
Right, the government spy who's supposed to be watching her.
Yeah.
But he develops this conscience, almost.
Refuses to speculate or hurt Tahiri, even when she looks like Anakin Skywalker, her lost love. That's quite a moment.
And he ends up helping Jaina with Jagged's bluff Jag pretending to be Jaina's husband to threaten Dab. Brilliant bit of improv.
It shows that even when suspicion is everywhere, individuals can still choose to act differently, go against the grain.
This whole thread is just a really compelling look at trust, paranoia, and what people will do to protect family, whether they're real or perceived.
Definitely makes you think.
Okay, shifting gears now. From that kind of individual paranoia, we zoom out, way out, to a planetary crisis.
Kessel.
Lando Calrissian, calls in Han and Leia for help. There are these devastating groundquakes happening.
And this isn't just, a simple rescue mission. It's a deep dive into Kessel itself. Infamous place.
Glitterstim spice mines, convict labor, that bleeding atmosphere. Han has his own grim history there.
Especially with the energy spiders, he is not keen on going back. Understandably.
But it raises that point, doesn't it? About facing past traumas for the greater good.
And Leia, ever the pragmatist, convinces him. Their plan is risky, though.
Setting off controlled explosions in a random sequence to stop a catastrophic fault line rupture. Yeah, sounds dicey.
And having legendary pilots like Wedge Antilles, Hobby Clivian back in the mix, it adds nostalgia, sure, but also highlights the real danger in those unstable caverns.
One thing that really jumped out at me from the sources was the detail about the energy spiders.
Ah, yes. Nature's perfect predators.
Exactly. They absorb energy so active sensors can't pick them up. Undetectable.
And when one attacks the Millennium Falcon, a blue one.
It drains the ship's energy. But the Falcon, because of its advanced construction, takes no visible damage, even without shields fully up.
Which leads to this really powerful moment for Han, a reframing.
The aha moment.
Right. He's initially just full of hate, bad memories of Kessel, the spiders, but then he realizes the spider isn't evil.
That's just its nature. That's the line.
Exactly. And that shift lets him see Kessel differently, not just as this place of trauma, but something more complex, maybe even worth saving.
It challenges that simple light-dark view of the Force, too. Suggests even dangerous things have a natural purpose. Makes you rethink biases.
Absolutely. And then, just to add another layer of mystery,
Alana, Han and Leia's granddaughter, 7 years old, secretly Jacen Solo's daughter.
She reveals this unique Force ability, sensing something sad but scary stirring in an ancient tomb on Kessel.
Hints at even deeper, uncharted stuff going on there. Kessel keeps surprising.
So for you, the listener, it's really a reminder. Even when facing these huge, familiar fears, changing your perspective can change everything.
Finding depth where you didn't expect it. Understanding that evil might just be nature doing its thing.
It's about looking deeper.
Okay, next up, we follow Luke and his son, Ben Skywalker. They're on a journey to Doran.
Home of the Baran Do Sages. Very secretive group.
And Luke's mission here is personal. He wants to understand what really turned Jacen Solo to the dark side.
Doran itself sounds pretty intense. Gloomy, storm-swept world. Unique architecture built just to withstand the weather.
And their interaction with the sages is key. Jacen visited them years ago, didn't he?
9 years ago, yeah. Seeking knowledge. Specific Force techniques. Sensing danger, detecting evil intent. Concealment.
And Luke learns about this Anasef technique. Translates to dead brain.
Right. lets you have undetectable energy output, vital for getting past security. But the sages are reluctant to teach Luke.
Why is that?
They fear it had the same negative mental impact on Jacen, a human. Worry it could turn someone into a nuat, basically, a monster of nightmares.
And this is where things get really interesting with the sages' practices, this ritual.
The accepting death ritual,
Yeah.
where members like this combat instructor, Jacen Solo, seem to die, cremated on a pyre.
But Luke, using his deep force senses, figures out it's a trick, a ruse.
A highly advanced force concealment technique. It lets them vanish, live on in hidden underground caverns, preserving their knowledge.
He figures out they put an empty casket on the pyre.
But it raises this fundamental question about their philosophy, right? This isolated knowledge preservation versus actually engaging with the galaxy.
The leader, the hidden one, he's deeply paranoid.
It's extremely paranoid about the Jedi's vulnerability to the government. He fears a mass extermination.
Thinks Luke made the Order vulnerable and tries to trap Luke and Ben.
Yeah, cuts off their oxygen, tries to force them to die and join his hidden society. It's classic fear leading to extreme control.
You can kind of see his point about vulnerability, given everything happening, but still, forcing them seems rigid.
Well, the sources suggest their ways are really deeply ingrained, almost dogmatic. It shows how hard it is to shift those long-held beliefs, even when the galaxy changes.
But Ben challenges him.
Ben does, with his investigational impulse. He fights Master Chara, who turns out to be the formerly dead Jacen Solo.
Right, she's alive down there.
And Ben ultimately finds the real way out, triggers a hidden sealing mechanism, shattering the sage's illusion of being trapped.
So, for you listening, it's a really compelling look at different ideas about knowledge, preservation, power.
And the courage it takes to break through illusions, find your own path, even against these powerful, entrenched beliefs.
Okay, finally, let's just touch on one more element. Hints at the darker forces moving in the background.
Bishan's mission.
Right, this intelligence gatherer, Dishan. She's on Zyos, the ancient Sith homeworld, trying to retrieve a Sith meditation sphere.
And what's fascinating is the sphere itself. It has autonomy.
Described as an enormous eye with bat-like wings.
Yeah.
An ancient dark side artifact designed to protect and educate apprentices.
But despite Dishan wanting it to serve the Sith on Korriban, it just refuses her telepathic commands.
Simply says home and goes back to Zyos.
It's subtle, but important. Not all powerful artifacts, even dark side ones, can just be bent to your will. They might have their own programming, maybe even sentience.
It's a small moment, but telling. And Dishan herself, she makes a tactical error, prioritizing the sphere over attacking the Millennium Falcon.
Shows how even calculated people can misjudge things when unpredictable forces are involved. Consequences can be huge.
So, bringing all these threads back together, Luke's political fight, Valin's personal horror, Han's shift in perspective, the sage's hidden world, this weird Sith sphere.
They all seem to revolve around this central theme, don't they? Control versus freedom. Perception versus deeper truth.
The galaxy is always in flux, old orders get challenged, and those personal aha moments can just redefine everything.
Constantly shifting sands.
And there you have it. Our deep dive into this really complex web of galactic events, personal transformations.
We've seen the Jedi Order grappling with public perception, government oversight.
Families navigating these truly strange afflictions. Powerful force abilities used in unexpected ways.
From subtle force concealment to those terrifying energy-draining creatures, lots of surprises packed in there.
What really stands out, though, is that thread of adaptation. Resilience.
Yeah, whether it's Luke adapting to Exile, Han changing his whole view of Kessel.
Jacen escaping that deception. Ben challenging those old beliefs. Characters are constantly forced to evolve.
Which raises, I think, an important question for you, the listener, to maybe chew on.
Go on.
In a world just flooded with information, conflicting truths, how do you figure out what's really happening versus what you're just told is happening?
And what role does your own personal experience, your critical thinking play in uncovering those hidden realities?
It's a big question.
It is. Sometimes those most profound insights, they come from looking past the surface, right? Questioning assumptions, being open to how surprising reality can actually be.
Well said.
Keep diving deep, everyone, and we'll see you next time on The Deep Dive.